Welcome to Culture Conversations. I'm back after a long hiatus, and I'm here with the artist who just dropped a new project. So, welcome everybody to ToriKatelyn. Welcome in. How are you? Have you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I wanted to start asking you about the music because you went on a hiatus yourself for a couple of years. What went into that, or were you working behind the scenes the whole time and we just didn't know? Like, what was it like the last couple of years?
I was not working behind the scenes. I never stopped writing, never stopped singing. That is just something I always like to do for myself. But I did start a higher education program, and then I moved on my own all the way across California. So that played a big part into me adjusting to my new environment, my new way of living. And then once that happened, I met a couple of people who did not know me, and they heard me sing, heard my music that I already had out, and they basically pushed me to get back in the studio. They said that my voice is something that needs to be heard in my music. So then I started working from the beginning of this year until now on a project.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, we grew up together, so I knew you could sing. And then, because I remember when you first started singing, at least at the church, and I was like, oh, okay, you should probably work on music. And then you went, dormant. And I was like, oh, but I'm glad you're back making music. You did your spoken word recently, and you do that all the time. So, you're not just a singer. For those of you who don't know, you could check her YouTube channel for that. When it came to working behind the scenes at the beginning of the year when you started, was it like, was it weird since you're in LA? Because I know a lot of people are calling you an LA artist because you started working in LA. But to me, I'm like, you're a Bay Area artist because you're from here. So I don't know which one you claim, but you could let the people know what you claim.
Yeah, so that's actually been something I've been struggling with because just because I started working out here, people see me or they engage with me and automatically, oh, you're an LA artist. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of have to explain how I migrated out here. I work in LA a lot, but I started in the Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm not too sure about that yet. I'm still thinking about it because, I do plan on living here for a very long time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So coming out here at the beginning of the year, it was a little bit weird finding someone to work with that I really liked. Um, Finding a studio that was really about their business, making sure I connected with people, engineers that were serious and, not just wanting to take your money, but not really good with the sound and how I wanted to have myself heard.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the biggest hurdle. But getting back in the studio, it kind of felt like just second nature. I was really happy to finally get back in there. Making the music is probably one of the easiest parts just because I love to do it. So it's like it's not work to me. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's like another activity you want to do on your spare time. And so that's how I felt getting back in there.
Okay. So was it because you said you started beginning of the year? So was it like January, you just went in there and immediately was working on a project, or were you in the studio just playing around until something stuck? Was it an inspiration that started the project, or how did that go? Was it a collab effort when you're writing? What's the process like in the studio for you?
It was May. So I met the people who heard my music and my wanting to, get back to singing in March.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it took them a few weeks to convince me to get in the studio. So that happened in May. All of my songs are written beforehand. So I like to go into the studio fully prepared. I've never taken the chance to go in the studio, sit there and have the beat found there and start writing my lyrics in there. I like to go in there very prepared. So I find what I want to work on ahead of time. I write my entire song by myself, and then I get in the studio and immediately I'm getting to work. So in May, every studio session I had, I worked on one or two songs. and I would just get in there and have them memorized or have my music book ready to go. And I would work with the same engineer over this entire project because he knew the sound that I wanted to come out of it.
Mhm.
And we even created a song that I ended up being like, this doesn't fit with the rest of them. So I went back in there immediately, came up with a better song, and he just knew the sound I wanted and was able to say, yeah, you were right, like that, this song fits better. And it's actually one of my most requested songs right now, my most played songs. So I'm glad I made that switch.
Which song is that for the people who don't know because they might not have listened yet?
Yeah, it's Reflection.
Okay. Okay. Now, when it came to making the EP, because you said that you write all your stuff beforehand, how do you balance making the music with life? Because you said you're in a, a higher education program. So how do you balance doing the music, being an artist, doing all the events, and then also going to school?
It's very hard. Um, I just tell myself that I know what I want to be in life, and they kind of have to balance out. So I know that I want to continue to make music, and the type of music I make is to make people feel good, to make them feel something. And so I want to continue to do that. It's the same for my spoken word. It's always to make people feel good, to feel, something, to feel empowered. And if that is the agenda I continue wanting to push, I kind of just have to make sure that I put time aside to do that. And then when it comes to my schooling, it's more like I don't have a choice. Obviously, I want to succeed. I want to finish the program. So I buckle down every day basically and get that work done. And I dedicate my weekend. So, like Friday through Sunday is time for me to be in LA, to network, to get my music done. That took place most Friday nights is when I did that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad everything's working out clearly because the project is great. When I seen the cover, I immediately thought of Mariah the Scientist cover, and I told you that when I seen it. Was that the exact thing that inspired you, or did you have this idea already, or what was that like?
So I knew because I was calling it Cupid's arrow.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that title fit perfectly because a lot of people don't know that Cupid is a god of two different types of love.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be a love to show you, the love everyone wants, the feel good love, fall in love with someone, or it can be showing you that this person is not for you, that you should focus on something else. He can, hit the wrong person with love, and then, it's not the right, you're not feeling it, that person's feeling it type thing. So those are all the type of songs I have included on the EP. But I was looking for inspiration as far as the cover art. And so I just typed into Google like Cupid's arrow or Cupid's arrow photo shoot. And I think hers was one of the first things to come up. And I was like, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That would fit what I'm trying to do. And so that's how that came about.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, as far as the EP process, is there anything else coming? Because I know you have a music video. I'm not sure which song it's for because I don't know if it's released yet. But is it for Reflection since that's your number one requested song, or is it for something else? And is there more than that?
It's for Reflection. I feel like that is the biggest song right now. As far as energy, everyone really likes it. I've had it requested to be played in the club. They do kind of um, increase the speed a little bit. I've heard it and it sounds cool, but that is a lot of my songs are love songs and, songs that make people feel good when they hear it. But Reflection, the idea I had for the music video was replay. So I want people to see it and be like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I haven't seen that in a while, especially because I incorporated dance into it, and not too many artists are continuing to dance in their music videos like they used to do back in the day. So that's what I really wanted to incorporate when I did that song, especially in the upbeat part.
Mhm. So as far as your inspiration goes, not only for this project, because it seems like love was the inspiration for this project in general, just the idea of it. Are there any artists or any, genres in general that you listen to inspire you, or do you just close everything off and then you write? Like, what is your process of creating?
For writing, I I usually don't have any music playing. I really sit to myself and I think internally about what I want to be heard, what story I want to tell. So none of my songs is just me talking. It's not me talking about stacks of money that I don't have. Like my songs are very real. They will bring you into the real me, into anything I've experienced, into heartbreak or into I'm doing great right now. This is how life is. So it's my music is more of a diary I sit to myself with than anything else.
Mm, okay. Now, when it comes to R&B, because you just said in music videos people aren't dancing anymore, which is true. Um, what do you think of the current state of it? Because I feel like this year Kaylani's dropping a lot of music, Leon Thomas is making a lot of music, and then your music is out. How do you feel about the current state of R&B versus like say the last 2 years, and then going forward? What do you think it's like right now?
I think there's a shift between everyone pushing out um, their artistry and as many songs as they could to actually buckling down and producing really great music and a really great sound
Mhm.
because over the past few years there was a lot of artists that were putting out just a whole bunch of music. R&B was like booming with music and now you really hear every time someone drops a song, it's, oh my gosh, I need to replay that. Or you hear it all over socials. People are making videos.
Mhm.
People are now doing their own covers to it. Even other bigger artists doing their own remixes. That's what music is about, is making everybody want to come together,
Mhm.
really feel it, continue to replay it. And that's what I'm really seeing right now with R&B is music that is making everyone feel something really deeply instead of just another song to listen to because it sounds good.
Yeah. With all the artists out right now, besides yourself, of course, because I know you're going to rank yourself one. But if you could rank your top five, what would your top five be? It can be hip hop, it can be R&B, but since you're an R&B artist, I want to say R&B. Who is your top five right now?
I would say one, um, under me, I'm just kidding. But my first would be Kalani,
Mhm.
um, and then Queen Naija. She's had a really great run with her last couple of songs and has a new project out, which is
Yeah.
really good. Leon Thomas, Coco Jones,
Hmm.
and Summer Walker.
Yeah, she's supposed to be dropping next week, I believe. So looking forward to that. Do you have a release date for the music video, or is it just dropping whenever you're ready?
I don't have a release date yet.
Okay, that's no worries. Let me see. On your project, you wrote everything yourself. So, out of everything that you wrote, everything you sang and recorded, what is your favorite lyric on the project? Or and what is your favorite song on the project? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be the most popular song. So, out of everything you wrote, what do you like the most?
My favorite song is Stuck.
Hmm.
Um, that's my favorite song because it really um, brings out my feelings of love. That is the song that I really dug deep into what I think love should be.
Hmm.
And also it's a little like flirty vibe of how girlfriends feel, how other friends feel when their girls in love. Like, what's this guy got? Why are you so stuck on him? Like,
Hmm.
it was a really good time for me to write it because I also had my girlfriends with me in the studio. And so it just felt like every girl who goes through, that first feeling, the first, honeymoon stage, and you're talking to your friends about this guy so much, and they're like, "Girl, what is he doing for you?" Just going through those emotions made me really happy, and it's like this is the song that I really want people to hear.
Okay. I mean, everyone definitely goes through that. So I feel like it would be a relatable song too. So after reflection, I would assume people listen to that one the most since it's such a universal feeling for everyone. Um, Out of all the songs on your project, what do you think is going to last the longest? Do you think reflection is going to be that song that just keeps going? Or do you think that another song's going to overtake it? Or how do you view the songs of your project?
I think reflection is going to last the longest only because it can be played in a lot of different environments.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it can be played in the club just because it's the most upbeat song. It can be played in smaller settings. I recently had it played at a women's event. Um, and it was played as a song of reflection on yourself. So the women were looking in mirrors and they were told to think about themselves. What do you see when you look in the mirror? And so it can be a song of you thinking about how to reflect on yourself instead of a man reflecting on you or, the relationship of that man.
Mm-hmm.
So in all those aspects, I feel like that song will be played because whoever's listening to it plays it in the way of what they hear or what they see when they think about that song instead of this is the song I put out because this is what I want people to hear.
Yeah. I mean, music is such a universal thing. Everyone has their own viewpoint on what a song means. So having different places you could play a record and have it mean different things is great. Um, so when it came to reflection and writing that song, when you wrote it, what did it mean to you? Did it mean looking in the mirror on yourself versus the love thing and focusing on what a man does for you? Or was it something else?
When I wrote it, it was a love song about a partner. So
Mm,
it's a song about how a partner is equally yoked with their significant other. He's reflecting on her in the way that uplifts her. And she notices in the way that she moves about life. And she's just talking about how crazy it is that you find a person who reflects on you the way you need them to,
mm.
and you feel that they should be, and it's good for you. And so that's what the song was really about, and that's what I was thinking about when I wrote it.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I believe that too, because with my girlfriend, I want to make sure that, or I feel like relationships in general, you shouldn't ever be above your person. Like it should always be you're on an equal playing field. There isn't anyone that's more important or bigger than anybody else. So I agree with you. Um, is there anything about your project that you want anyone to know that might not have been conveyed through the lyrics, or do you think it just speaks for itself?
I think the biggest thing um, I want people to understand is that love has its ups and downs, but it doesn't mean that it is not a perfect love. Everyone's definition of perfect love is different. And so just because you go through that difficult love, which is the name of one of my songs,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that it will always be that way. The honeymoon stage is not there forever. But the biggest thing is that you and your partner work together to overcome whatever obstacle, whatever argument, whatever little, petty disagreement you have together instead of it becoming this bigger problem because you're fighting each other. And so that's what all of these tracks combined show in the project. This is everyone's vision of perfect love. This is a difficult love, but in the song it asks, what do you want? Do you want an us? This is something we should work through. Yes, it's difficult, but it's also love. You know what I mean? No love is perfect. And so that's what I want everyone to really get out of this project when they listen to it is what is love to you? And what can you pull from this and, implant into your own relationship or your own life when you think about love?
Yeah. I mean, loving yourself can also be difficult. So difficult love could just apply to looking in the mirror, like with reflection and seeing yourself and wanting to, become better. And in that aspect, I wanted to ask you because you're a black woman in the industry in LA, and I know LA can get crazy. It has a bad rep sometimes, but from your perspective as a black woman singing now and you're coming up, what do you see as a Black woman in the industry, and what is your message to Black women who want to, follow in your footsteps as far as working on music or being an artist, or
The biggest thing that I see is that, or I want to see, is Black women, and Black artists in general coming together. It's good to have healthy competition, but
Mhm.
walk into a room, you don't want to see other women kind of look down on you, kind of try and size you up before they get to know you. I feel like it should be a thing of everyone walking up to each other and being like, what do you do? Do you sing? Do you rap? What type? Can I follow you on social media? How can I support you? That's really what I want to see. It feels right now that a lot of the LA artists I've met are more in competition to be the best, to push their music to be the greatest. And for me, it resonates more when an artist is like, I'm doing this because I want people to hear. I want people to hear what the world needs to hear. I want them to feel something. And then if it gets me somewhere, that would be great. That would be perfect. But my ultimate agenda is not how can I have the biggest audience? How can I make the most money? Because, like I said, music is my journal. And so I'm really choosing to share my life, my thoughts, my thinking process about a bunch of different things with the world to feed into other Black women or women in general. But, my main agenda has always been Black lives. Um, Black men matter, Black women matter. And so I really want to make other people who look like us feel great. I want to push other artists to want to do what they're doing, continue to do it. But in order to do that, when another Black woman walks in the room, you want to walk up to her and say, I support you. I may not know what you do yet, but I support you because you're here, you're trying to network, and you're in this same industry that I'm in.
Yeah, I feel like in the Bay Area, it's probably even worse because no one supports each other out here unless all of a sudden you're popping somewhere else and then they hate you for that because you're somewhere else. Like, for example, let's say you hit 1 million tomorrow and then someone calls you an LA artist. Someone in the Bay Area who didn't listen to you before they heard about you in LA is going to be like, no, she's from here. And like they do that all the time. It's ridiculous. Like someone moves from the Bay because they can't get anything done. And then they hate the Bay because of that. And it's like, we need to cut that out and just support each other no matter
Yeah.
where we're at. So yeah, it's ridiculous. But since collaboration is something you did do on the project, what was that like, or what is your process with collabing? Because you write everything yourself. So what is it like when someone else comes in with their stuff? Do they write in the studio, or do you want them to do what you do and write before they get there? Like, what is that process?
So I had two separate artists on this project. One was from or is from LA,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is from the Bay Area. So the artist, K Smooth, he is from LA. He came into the studio with me with something already written as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so he just came in and he started rapping. For that song, that was different for me because for my verse, I wanted to feed off of what he envisioned to speak on. So I gave him a brief little summary of what I wanted the song to be about. It's a difficult love, but that doesn't mean it's a bad love. And so I wrote as he was rapping, and I sang it to them before I got in the booth. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's it. That's what we need to say. For Priceless, who is a Bay Area artist, he wrote his portion, back home in the Bay. And then he sent everything to me. He asked me my feedback on it. And then I had to tell him what I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
get it back to him, and then he bounced it back to me, and then I had to send it to my engineer out here. So that was different as well.
Oh, okay, okay. So you had two different processes. Okay. Now, with your engineer, because I'm going to assume you want to move forward with this type of sound. With your engineer, what did you tell him as far as how you want your music to sound? What is your sound? Like describe your sound in R&B because everyone has their own sound.
I think my sound for the most part is soft, welcoming. That's how I want my voice to sound. So I immediately was like, no auto tune. I don't want you to hear that anything has been put over my voice. I want to be as authentic as possible. So that was the biggest thing we had to talk about when I first started with him. I was like, can you turn that,
Hmm.
turn that down. I don't want to hear that. And he was very receptive to that. And then as far as how I wanted the beat to flow against my voice or, background vocals. I didn't put too many in my song because I didn't want them to overpower my message and my voice. And I know I'm already a soft-spoken person. And in the booth also, I'm told I'm a very soft singer, so they have to turn my volume up. So I
Hmm.
want all that to reflect in how I sing. I don't want it to sound different. And then I get asked, can you sing for us? And it sounds completely different in
Right.
person.
Right. Yeah, because for those of you listening instead of watching, I'm gonna have her sing something very short. It's not gonna be anything crazy. She agreed to this, so I'm not just putting her on the spot. But when you guys hear her voice here, it's gonna be the same authentic voice you hear on the EP. So I don't want you guys to be like, oh, well, she doesn't. She sounds the exact same on record. So I have only a couple more questions, and then we could let you sing. And we can get you out of here. Um, you like the collaborations on this project. You had two rappers. Would you ever collaborate with another singer? And if so, do you have any ideas of how that would go, or is it just like you're flowing with it as time goes on? You're not thinking about it at all.
I would want to collaborate with another singer. I haven't thought too much about it. Um, I would want it to be a male singer, just because I want to hear what my sound sounds like against, a male vocalist. I haven't thought about collaborating with a female artist yet. That, is a possibility. I don't know too many singers yet. That's the biggest thing I'm hearing right now. Stepping into my artistry, especially in LA, I have a lot of rappers who have come to me saying, I need you on this because your voice is amazing, you sing. I haven't heard any singers that I want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know when I'm at these different networking events, there's a lot of female rappers. And so once I do find that, that singer, it would be cool to hear how that would sound, how we'd sound next to each other.
Now, when it comes to the LA thing, do you envision yourself working anywhere outside of LA, or is it you're going to stay out there and just have everyone, come to you and stay in that bubble since you're mainly because you're in school, so travel isn't really a premium right now? Or do you think, oh, I can go over here and work with this, or if an artist in the say a singer in the Bay was like, oh, I need you to come up here and do this, would that be something you'd be willing to do? Or are you kind of focused on where you're at right now and trying to plant your seeds there?
I am trying to plant my seed here right now since I just, got back started and where I am starting is out here.
Yeah.
And like I said, school is a really big focus of mine right now. I do want to finish that, get that out of the way before I take on too many extracurriculars.
Mhm.
And traveling would be one of those things, just because I also travel for work. So I'm open to working with Bay Area artists. I'd be like, can it be during the time I come for work? Because I do go out there like once a month.
Yeah.
But I'm never closing off my sound or my artistry to one, like, oh, I'm only working with other LA artists or Bay Area. If you're in, Vegas, another state, I'm open to working with other people who have the same agenda to push as myself because I have sat with this and I do want to present myself in a certain way that I hope other artists align with, as far as my music. In case anyone hasn't noticed in my songs, I do not curse.
Mhm.
Um, I do not, have a lot of songs with, or any songs with like the N word and, stuff like that, because that's just not on my day to day. I don't curse. And so I would like to work with other artists who know if you get on this song, please do not do the most, we're not,
Mhm.
I don't want Young Thug on my song,
Right.
I don't know. I always bring up, who was your name? Sean, Big Sean. I
Yeah.
always bring that example, especially with K Smooth, who was on my song. I brought that up to him, like, this is, you kind of fit his sound. This is what I'm kind of going with. He's like, okay, I can do that. And so that's what I look for when I work with other artists.
Okay, my last question before the people hear you sing is you talked about how your agenda is like black men matter, black women matter. Is there any like full just anything you want to say to the people about what you believe in and anything before you go? Because this is your platform to just speak about what you want.
My biggest thing is for Black men and Black women to know that they're important. They are seen, they are loved, and I just hope that they continue to feel that, especially when listening to my music. I do not want people to sit with themselves and feel bad. I want people to feel good. I want Black men and Black women to know that even in the times we are in right now, they do have a place in this life. And what we do is very important. We are often imitated a lot, and I do speak about that in a few of my spoken words. They say that we are the color they hate the most, yet we are the color of the most imitated people in the world. So I just want them to look to themselves and go, I am that. I am that person. I've got it. This is what they want. And to hold their head high and just to know that if anything that if anything else that you feel that you are the person that you need to be in this lifetime, and whatever it is you're going through, you will get through it.
Perfect. Now I'm gonna take my camera off. This is your full platform. You can sing whatever song you like. You can sing your own record. You can sing your favorite song. Whatever you would like to do, it's up to you. And the floor is yours.
I'm going to sing a little bit of Stuck since I just released that, and that is my own favorite song on the EP. Get a little bit of water first. I be feeling down when I'm not with you. Head spinning around when I'm not with you. Friends be asking why I'm so stuck on you. Can you tell me why am I stuck on you? You said overthinking won't get me far. That you never want to break my heart. And I know exactly who you are. That's the scary part when it's said and done. This feeling cuts so deeply, gonna leave me with a nasty scar. And this feeling cuts so deeply, gonna leave me with a broken heart. 'Cause I be feeling down when I'm not with you. Head spinning around when I'm not with you. Friends be asking why I'm so stuck on you. Can you tell me why am I stuck on you?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is ToriKatelyn. You can follow her on Instagram at the same thing that you see in the bottom left corner. And as I always say, Black people stay together.